What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this week's exclusive segment, our first exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on Turf. I'm Ryan.
I'm Anthony.
And for this exclusive segment, we're going to be doing another mock draft. We've done it a lot, but you guys seem to love it. So, of course, we're going to keep bringing it back for you guys. This week, we have a lot of content coming down. We have multiple videos, multiple podcasts, 4 days straight, like he said. On Monday, we got the NFC East podcast coming out and this mock draft. On Tuesday, we're going to have some of the worst picks in every round of the fantasy football draft. We're talking about guys who are bustable players, guys that get hurt, guys that you don't really want on your football team but are getting drafted way too high.
Guys that live in the infamous Chris Carson, Miles Sanders range of the fantasy draft. Guys in the Melvin Gordon, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones range like that. We're going to be doing that rounds probably 1 through 8 or so like that on Tuesday. Wednesday, we may or may not be posting an IRL 10-team mock draft, so be on the lookout for that. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing an NFC East podcast. If you guys aren't familiar with what we've been doing with the podcast, we've been kind of going through each division, doing some schedule predictions, win-loss, some notable matchups, discussing, making some bets even. We've made a lot of bets. I would say we're almost up to $100 worth of bets in the 4 episodes we've done so far.
We got problems.
If you want to hear us argue like a bunch of dummies for about an hour, link in the description for all our podcasts. This mock draft will be our second to last mock draft we're doing. It's fantasy football season. We're not going to be doing fantasy football mock drafts as we get closer to the regular season. So as time, fantasy football drafts are starting to come up soon. So we're going to try and pump out as much fantasy content for you guys as we can. So this will be our second to last mock draft, not including the IRL one Wednesday. And then giveaway winners. Gotcha. You guys know about the giveaway. The last day to enter the giveaway is today. So by the time you guys are watching this, we're not accepting any more giveaway entries. Winners will be privately messaged Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning after we select the winners.
And look, this giveaway...
Sorry. Randomly select. It's all random. Your names are already in the random name generator. So randomly click.
And this giveaway was all made possible by the place we're sitting in, Little Italy Pizzeria. They got the best cheesesteaks, the best pizza in all of Delaware. Come check it out. You know, my man's behind the grill cooking. He's even in the bar sometimes. Come sit down, have yourself a cheesesteak, have yourself a beer if you're of age, and sit down, have a good time.
Couldn't have said it better. Yeah, thanks to our sponsor, Little Italy, helped us do this giveaway, the jersey giveaway. You guys already know we're giving away 3 jerseys. Little Italy helped us. I had to pay for out of pocket for the one because I lost a bet. Because
Giannis is way better than Devin Booker will ever be.
Fair enough. It's not really saying much, but that's a topic for a different day. But yeah, giveaway winners announced privately in their messages. And I think that's it. You covered our sponsor, right?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, thanks Little Italy for helping us with the giveaway. We definitely got some more dope giveaways in the future coming, I promise. More milestones we hit. We're growing. We're at 240 subscribers now, and we hit 200, last week? It's been about a week or so, and we're already up 40 subscribers. So keep showing us love, and let's get into mock draft.
All right, guys, you know how we do it. It's going to be a 10-team PPR snake draft. We're going to have 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a flex, tight end, kicker, defense, couple bench spots. Same as usual, we're going to ask SIRI what picks we got. Random, as always.
Ryan, I'll give you the first pick since
Sure.
you need the handicap.
Sure.
Hey, Siri, pick a random number 1 through 10.
3.
Ryan gets 3 again. Hey, Siri, pick another random number 1 through 10. On it. Okay. 1. Okay, I'll take it. Sweet. Siri, you're a stupid...
I feel like we never get 5.
I know, and I'm fine with it. Because if my drafts go like this in real life and I keep getting picks 1, 7 wasn't too bad last week, you consistently getting 3, maybe it's a sign, you know?
Maybe I should go to 5 for the people.
It's up to you. If that's if you want to do it like that and do it, then fine. But I mean, I'm gonna probably stick with 1 on this one.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So with that being said, let's start the draft with the first pick. I mean, this should go without saying. It's Christian McCaffrey, and it's not close. Maybe if you like Dalvin Cook a little bit more, you can go Dalvin Cook. I won't knock you for it. Personally, it's a thought that I've had. I've thought about it before. But, I mean, it's Christian McCaffrey, so You can't go wrong with him, really. You can't go wrong with Dalvin Cook either, like I said. But then Derrick Henry goes too. You got lucky.
Yeah, Derrick Henry going too is crazy to me, especially in a PPR league. Standard, I could see the vision, but in a PPR league, I think you have to go Dalvin Cook at 2. And since he is there for me at 3, I'm going to take him pretty easily. He can catch. He can run. The Minnesota Vikings offense is a decent offense, so they are going to score some points. It's a better offense than the Panthers, and that's one thing that they got going for them. So I'm going to take Dalvin Cook here, and I'm not going to think twice about it. The only thing that's, kind of concerning about Dalvin Cook is his injuries every year, but, I'm not going to bank on injuries. I'll draft his handcuff later and make it work.
Sam Ellinger almost fumbled the snap on the goal line.
Of course. So in the first round, we had 8 running backs go.
Mahomes.
8 running backs go in the first round. That's not really crazy. You've seen it a lot. Second round, 3 running backs already. Najee Harris was one of them. That was going to be my pick here. So, a little disappointing. Instead, I'm going to go with Joe Mixon here.
Of course you take.
As you see, the jersey, Boomer Sooner, horns down. Joe Mixon, I think, is in line to do really good this year. Giovanni Bernard is gone, so that means Joe Mixon. That means Joe Mixon is going to be the third down back for this football team. It means he's going to get a ton of the snaps. And the most valuable snaps for a running back in fantasy football is the third down snaps, just because he can get, he can get the pass catches. So if Joe Mixon happens to get, 4 catches a game, it's 4 points plus the, what's the average? About 7 yards a catch, 28 yards. It just adds up. You know what I mean? So I'm going Joe Mixon here. Not thinking twice about it.
And I would have loved to have Sleepy Joe there, but moving on. Right here, similar situation to where you were at. You got Joe Mixon. I'm going to draft a guy who's in a similar situation to him going in this year. He does have J.D. McKissick in the backfield, but reports of camp are showing they're trying to get him more involved as a 3-down running back. They could work J.D. McKissick in the slot as well, the football team, if they choose to. So I'm going to go Antonio Gibson here. The upside's there. Hopefully he can get these third down touches like I think that they're going to give him in the reports I'm seeing. And I'm back up on the clock here. I would love Deandra Hopkins here. He's one of my fantasy my guys. So if this was any other draft, I'm going Clyde Edwards-Helaire here, and I'm not thinking twice about it. Maybe DeAndre Swift. But the fact that this is a mock draft, and this is why we mock, I'm going to go ahead and grab my top fantasy my guy this year, DeAndre Hopkins. I think he's in for a big year this year. We keep talking about him. Ryan's a big fan. I'm a big fan. I think the Cardinals in general are in for a monster year. So, if I can get one of my guys in the third round who I've seen go as early as 10, I don't think I can pass up on that.
Yeah, usually I've been going wide receiver or running back heavy also. And I was thinking about doing it here. The guy would be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I'm actually going to go with Calvin Ridley. I think Calvin Ridley is the third best receiver this year in fantasy football. I think he's going to get probably arguably the most targets in the whole entire league, just because of the fact that the Atlanta Falcons, they are a passing team. Mike Davis isn't the greatest running back in football. I'm not going to, sure, he's a sleeper, but he's not going to get the ball 20 times a game.
Nope.
Any stretch of the imagination. Julio Jones is gone. Calvin Ridley is the only guy there besides the rookie Kyle Pitts. Yeah, Calvin Ridley, I think he's a stud. I think he can be a number 1 receiver, and that's why I have him as my wide receiver 3 in this year's fantasy football.
No, that's fair. I like that pick. Like I said, we've gone kind of similar routes here this draft so far. Best running back available for our first pick, second best running back available with our second picks, and then stud wide receivers coming around in the third. Our drafts are kind of similar, and I would have loved for Terry McLaurin to fall to me.
He probably would have, because with my pick here, I'm going to go with David Montgomery. A lot of people, they don't really like David Montgomery. They think he's a potential bust candidate just because of what he did last year. He kind of took the step forward against weak defenses in the second half, but a lot of people do forget that David Montgomery, he battled with a groin injury all during training camp.
Yeah.
And as a young player, that's going to set him back, obviously, just because I'm not very familiar with the offense and all the things that are wrong with that. David Montgomery, I think he's going to be good this year. He was a top 5 running back last year.
Yeah.
I can envision it again. We saw Justin Fields in preseason. I know you don't overreact in preseason. I get it.
He looked pretty good, though.
But he looked pretty good. He looked better than Andy Dalton. So,
now, granted, that's not saying
exactly.
much. So
take that
with a grain of salt. I think that's the saying, but
that was people's worries about David Montgomery. That Andy Dalton was the offense, and Andy Dalton was just going to destroy all touchdown possibilities. With Justin Fields, you get more upside. I'm going to go with David Montgomery here.
I think Will Greer's in a quarterback for the Panthers right now.
Nice. Montgomery did get hurt also.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yesterday or in practice?
Yesterday during the game.
Nice.
It doesn't appear to be serious at the time, so I'm gonna run with that. I know he kind of just limped off the field, so it doesn't appear to be anything.
All right, so me being here, end of the fourth, about to go around the bend. We're in that dreaded range after the Josh Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Chris Carson range, where the running backs, where it's kind of like no man's land. You got the Darrell Hendersons of the world, the ETNs, the Robinsons, the Kareem Hunts of the world, the Devonte Williams of the world. So I'm going to go kind of based off of upside here, I guess. I don't really like the player, but I need another running back, and Darrell Henderson, the upside's there. He's playing for the Rams. They have a decent offensive line. Cam Akers was in for a big year, so who's to say that Darrell Henderson can't pick up where Cam Akers was going to pick up? So I'm going to go Darrell Henderson with my first pick. That's 3 fantasy decent running backs. Then I got to go another receiver here. I'm between 2 guys. Chris Goblin, or your boy, who you got on your jersey, CeeDee Lamb. But just to try and gain on Ryan's good side as fantasy football season's approaching, I'm going to go ahead and go with Chris Goblin, another guy who I feel as though I take a lot in these fantasy drafts. I mean, top of the 5th round, Chris Goblin is solid value. He's a potential, wasn't he top 5 fantasy receiver 2 years ago with Jameis? The upside's there for Chris Goblin. He's got Tom Brady, who loves throwing it to him. So, I mean, that's good value right there. And I have 2 decent receivers. I'm really liking my team so far.
My next pick here, I'm going to go receiver. And I was, thinking about not taking CeeDee Lamb just because of the fact that Dak Prescott might be hurt at the start of the year. So a guy I was kind of, pivoting to a little bit was Robert Woods. I don't think I'm going to do that, though. Dak Prescott just got his MRI back. They said, it's positive, it's good. He might even play in this next preseason game, which would be perfect for him. But even though, he might be banged up, if Dak Prescott misses week 1, so be it. It's not the end of the world. But if Dak Prescott is, back to 100%, week 4, CeeDee Lamb's going to be a stud then. Absolutely. And I'm not very worried about it. I think I can grab another receiver. I don't need receivers right now. I have Calvin Ridley, and I'm sure I can grab a wide receiver too later. So I'm going to go with CeeDee Lamb based on pure upside.
I like how you said that because, as we've said before, we've said in a lot of videos, this is a very, very, very receiver-heavy fantasy football year. There's not a lot of good running backs.
Robert Woods was about to fall to me.
There's a lot of receivers you'll be able to get in the later rounds, so that's why I can't keep saying it enough. Running backs early is the key this year. But I say it all the time, I'm a guy who loves to grab 2 top receivers and then a Miles Sanders or Josh Jacobs in the 3rd round, but this is not the year for that. Because in other years I've been able to use the waiver wire and just draft running backs later down the board. This ain't the year. After, I would say, the 10th round, all the starting running backs are gone.
Easily.
So, I mean, maybe the 10th round may even be a stretch for that. So, running back heavy, I can't stress it enough. As you get down the board, all the starting running backs are going to be gone. I mean, what are we? Pretty much end of the 6th right now. And
the best running back is James Robinson. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's where I'm at, and I'll let you go ahead and start with your pick.
My next pick here, I'm going to grab another receiver. CeeDee Lamb, I might not be able to start week 1 just because Dak Prescott, he's kind of up in question a little bit. So I'm going to go with Deontay Dropson here. I know I said Dropson. I understand what I said. I get it. But he's still getting tons of targets every game. Ben Roethlisberger is in love with Deontay Johnson, and that's a good guy to have. Deontay Johnson's going to get a ton of targets. He did last year, and he still couldn't really catch the ball. So I'm going with this. I'm going pure PPR. I'm going pure. He's going to get catches, and he might even get a touchdown. Give me Deontay Johnson.
Another Panthers guy got hurt. Looks like Sam Ellinger's having a day against the Panthers practice squad.
Good for him.
Alrighty, where are we at?
You're taking your sleeper.
I think I am, yeah. Mike Davis, and it's not even a question here. Is good, I mean, I say that, but I know we don't buy in a preseason hype, but Devonte Williams looked really good yesterday in the preseason game. Granted, it was the Vikings A and B team that was in the game. But I'm going to go ahead based off preseason, based off of a couple of series. I'm going to go ahead and grab Devonte Williams here. I'm trying to change it up a little bit here. I went Deandra Hopkins earlier. Different. I went Darrell Henderson earlier. I've grabbed a few guys who I would normally grab, but I'm going to go ahead and change it up and grab Devonte Williams. He looked really good yesterday. Granted, like I said, it's preseason and it was against the Vikings A and B team mix, but I mean, I don't think Melvin Gordon's very good. You don't trade up to a top 3 pick in the second round to draft your backup running back. So, I mean, Devonte Williams in the 6th. I'll take it. I'll take
As your running
gamble.
back 4, I mean, that's super clean because you don't have to start him week 1. You can start him in week 4 when he takes the job over because Melvin Gordon sucks.
Yep, and I'm back up on the clock. I kind of forgot. Now, this is that dreaded receiver range where we get to the Kenny Galladays of the world, the Michael Thomas, the Odell Beckhams.
I'm not touching Kenny Galladay with a 10-foot pole.
As high as I was on the Giants, as high as I still kind of am on the Giants. Sorry, Kenny G, but nah, you got hurt in practice last week.
Kenny G.
I know you saw that video of Daniel Jones in practice.
Yeah.
Just
That was
threw it in the
bad.
middle of the field somewhere. Jonnu Smith left practice with an ankle injury.
Nice.
That was what? What did they make in a year? About
Top
13
3.
mil?
Top 3, yeah.
Yeah, so the two of the top 3 highest paid tight ends in football are both going on the injured list to start off from preseason.
Yeah, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, me too. I don't know who I'm going to draft here. I'm not liking the spot too much. You want to trade?
Sure.
No. When in doubt, they say take a defense. But in this fantasy draft class, I'm going to go ahead and finish up grabbing my running backs and just go ahead and grab Mike Davis because why not? Can never have too many running backs, especially in fantasy. If I need to, I can flip one of them for a receiver down the line. I mean, best of both worlds here. I have 5 running backs. I probably won't draft any more running backs, so yeah, I'm probably just going to go receivers and pass catchers for the rest of the draft.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a tough spot.
Not that
Part
I
of
was-
me wants to grab a wide receiver. Just grab Michael Thomas. No, I'm not doing it.
Put him on in the injury slot for the first half of the year if he plays at all.
I'm kind of between a T. Higgins right now, or I'm between a Chase Edmonds. I would be thinking about James Robinson, but it really sounds like they're going to do a 3 running back committee with Carlos Hyde.
Really?
Yeah. Urban Meyer said he wants a 1-2 punch with James Robinson and Travis Etienne being a 3rd down back.
See, I kind of saw that coming. I remember I said on the podcast way back, and you said I was full of shit for name dropping Carlos Hyde's name in that running back conversation. But
I guess that's.
Ooh.
I mean, it's a shot at Urban Meyer. He's already a bad coach. That's crazy. He just got here and he's already doing bad.
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with T. Higgins. I'm gonna go pure upside here. I think T. Higgins has the chance to be what people think Jamar Chase will be. What I think Jamar Chase will be. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, they're kind of the same. In my opinion, there's a 50-50 shot of who's going to be the stud in the Bengals. Probably 60-40.
I'm banking
leaning
on T.
towards Jamar
Higgins.
Chase. T. Higgins, he's done it. He's already proven that he could be a good receiver in the NFL. The only thing is he doesn't have the relationship with Joe Burrow like Jamar Chase does. So, that's where things get iffy there. I'm taking T. Higgins here based on pure upside.
That's fair enough. I like that. I'm a big T. Higgins guy. I've been in love with T. Higgins since the NFL draft last year. Big fan of the guy. I think he's going to be good. I agree with what you
Runner
said, though.
receivers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jesus.
Nice.
That's not good for me. Because I only have 2 receivers, and we're in bed. 8th and 9th round.
With my next pick here, I partially want to go running back, but there's also a receiver here that I really like, and I think I'm going to pull the trigger on him now. I'm going to play the ADP game. Anthony needs a receiver, and I got a feeling he likes this guy, so I'm going to go ahead and take him in front of him. It's all about knowing your draft and knowing who you're drafting with. I'm taking Robbie Anderson. I think he's potentially the Robert Woods of the Carolina Panthers, and I like that. I feel comfortable about that. You can have Courtland Sutton if you want him. Take him.
No, they were
Okay.
actually. I was watching the Panthers Colts preseason pregame, and they were talking about the Robbie Anderson this year and how he could be receiver 1 ahead of DJ Moore again last year because he ate up a lot of targets. And I mean, similar to what we were just talking about the Bengals, Robbie Anderson, and you said it last week, Robbie Anderson and Sam Darnold kind of already have a relationship, I guess. And I mean, they were saying it too. So I mean, definitely something to keep an eye on. I like that pick. That's not really who I was looking towards.
With my next pick, I'm going running back. I'm not very sure who it's going to be.
But it's going to be a running back.
It's going to be a running back.
I'll tell you, I don't even need to look at running backs anymore. Now, one of these picks is going to be a tight end, so I'm going to just get it out of the way now and grab Dallas Goedert. Just because I know we're going to see a run of tight ends, and I don't want to have to get stuck with Tyler Higbee or a guy like that. So I'm going to just go ahead and grab a Dallas Goedert early. And I'm going to go ahead and grab one of my fantasy sleepers this year, Jerry Judy. Or was he one of my sleepers? Yeah, Jerry Judy's one of my sleepers. So I'm going to go ahead and grab him. I love Jerry Judy this year. He gets a lot of targets. Looked like they were trying to get him involved in some of the quick pass games, some of the jet sweeps yesterday as well. I know it's only preseason, and I know I have 2 Denver Broncos on my team, but they're a team I'm high on, and a team I think is going to be solid this year. I think Jerry Judy has a lot of upside this year. I think as long as Drew Lock's a starter, I think Drew Lock is going to show Jerry Judy a lot of love just from what I saw last year and from what I'm hearing from camp. So, I mean, Jerry Judy.
For my next pick, I think I'm going to go Raheem Mostert here. I think he has a very, he seems to get hurt a lot throughout the year, but I think he has a very good shot to be a stud the first, half of the season, and then I can probably dump him off and trade him. I think Raheem Mostert can be a, double-digit fantasy guy consistently every week as the running back one for this 49ers team. I can ride until the wheels fall off, or I can sell him high when he does show up week 1, which I think he will. I'm going Raheem Mostert here as my running back 4. It was a pretty easy pick for me. I'm not very worried about him.
No, that's fair. That's probably who I would have gone there too, especially the situation where you kind of need a running back.
I was thinking about Michael Carter, but it seems like he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth.
I would have maybe looked at David Johnson there as well, but that's just me.
It's fair.
But you're back up on the board. And
there is no running backs here. Say that right
like
now.
I said, what are we in the 10th round? And the best running back on the board is Zach Moss.
I'm going to go ahead and grab my not QB1, but QB1 of what's available, my QB5 total in all of fantasy football. It's Tom Brady. When you got Chris Goblin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown to throw the ball to, come on. You got to take Tom Brady here. In the 10th round, it's not a bad, pick for a top 10 quarterback.
No, I love Tom Brady.
That's fair.
Yep, I love him. I'm going to go ahead and grab a quarterback, actually. Yeah, there's a lot of guys here. I'm probably going to go ahead and grab Ryan Tannehill. I grab him a lot, but safe pick for a quarterback. His offense is loaded. His job's easy. He's a
stud.
He's the perfect quarterback to have a loaded offense around him. He don't have to do too much. He's not very good, but he has the best receiver in the NFL, A.J. Brown, and a top 5 running back in the NFL. So, I mean, there we go.
And he's a stud.
Tannehill, welcome to the team, scrub. And then probably going to grab another receiver here. And I'm not liking my choices. I only have 3 receivers. Jeez. This is still recording. All right, good. Now here,
there's some studs available.
Yeah, Corey Davis. I don't know why Michael Pittman's still on my list. I have my 2 weekly start receivers. Jerry Judy's a guy who can play in the flex. I have a lot of running backs, so I mean, I don't know, but I have Jerry Judy. So I'm going to go another guy who I'm kind of high on this year. Well, a guy on a team who I'm very high on. Between Curtis Samuel and Mike Williams here, I feel like I can grab Mike Williams in another round or 2. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Curtis Samuel. He's a guy in Washington. He's coming off the COVID list. He's a receiver. He's a second option, the second receiving option there. Fitzpatrick's a gunslinger. Why not take a chance on him in the 11th round?
My next pick here, I'm going to grab a tight end. The platform that we're drafting on tends to, sometimes take 2 tight ends. So I think
Fair.
It's fair to go ahead and grab a potential breakout candidate. But I'm really between Tyler Higbee and Irv Smith. It's just a matter of, do I want... It's tough. Because in Tyler Higbee, you got Matt Stafford coming into town who has shown love to tight ends before. But in Irv Smith, you got a stud of a tight end. Way better talent than Tyler Higbee. In an offense that did support Kyle Rudolph. So that's making me kind of want Irv Smith here. I don't know if I want 2 Minnesota Vikings. It doesn't really scream great to me. Gonna be honest with you there.
Fair.
I'm gonna go Irv Smith with the potential breakout. top 10 tight end.
I like that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that pick. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with either of them, I feel like.
Tyler Higbee is probably the safer pick, but we like being bold.
This is why we mock, eh?
I mean,
Higbee just
you're so mad. Oh man, that's great.
first defense off the board too. That's how you know they're getting acclimated to how I draft. Because they knew I was going to grab him coming back around.
With my next pick here, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my handcuff running back to Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook has, injury riddled past. And Alexander Madison, even if Dalvin Cook goes down, they're still going to feed the ball to him. They trust Alexander Madison to be the backup running back. Drafted him here, not really thinking twice about it. I'm okay with holding a handcuff running back when I know that he's going to have good value. So
he's always the hottest waiver wire pickup every year. So I like that pick. I'm going to go ahead and grab. We're still recording, right? Good. Like I said, Mike Williams is still here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab Mike Williams with my first pick. Pure upside. My receivers kind of suck. After my first two, it gets a little iffy. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense, because why not? Yeah, you know who's still in the league I forgot about?
Who?
Marlon Mack.
yeah, he's probably going to take Jonathan Taylor's job.
Yeah.
That was a joke. But I could definitely see a committee. I
Yeah.
could see a three-headed horse between Nyheim Hines and, Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor. But this next pick, I've been doing it a lot in my mock drafts, taking a shot on a rookie quarterback. A couple of these guys have potential to be a top 10 quarterback in the league. They have the rushing capabilities to be a top quarterback. And as we saw in preseason, there's one guy that really kind of did it, and that was Justin Fields. He had a rushing touchdown. He had a passing touchdown. He probably did the best so far out of any other rookies in preseason. That's not saying much. It is preseason. But we're at this point in the draft where...
Why not?
Why not? It's an easy drop if he doesn't end up starting in the first couple weeks.
I'll tell you who he did do better than Mac Jones, because Mac Jones sucks, and the Patriots could have gave up next year's first-round pick and a third-round pick to go ahead and get him. But no, let's wait for Mac Jones because he's a sorry bum. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Ryan's back up.
With this next pick, my number one kicker still on the board. I'm going to go ahead and grab him here. Harrison Butker.
Yep.
Kicker of the Chiefs. I can start him every week and be confident. I don't care who the Chiefs play against. They're going to score points. Harrison Butker is a safe option. And I love it.
Tyler Bass, welcome to the team. The Bills score a lot. Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are pretty good, I would say. I have 5 receivers. How many running backs I have? 2, 5 running backs. So this is kind of just, I can kind of grab whoever I want here. Not liking any of the quarterbacks
Trey
here.
Lance.
Maybe a Trey Lance. Not really liking any of the running backs here.
Nelson Aguilar.
No.
Why are they taking the knee? It's preseason.
Because they're trying to kick that field goal. So the Panthers, Will Greer don't go on a game-winning
it's tied.
drive.
I didn't realize it was tied.
All right, for the final pick here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go Russell Gage. Receiver 2 of the Falcons, very last round. Upside's there, why not?
Who did the Patriots play week 1?
Miami.
Who did the 49ers play week 1?
Detroit.
They played Detroit?
Detroit and Philly. There you go. Good to
I'm
know.
going with the San Francisco 49ers defense.
That's very good to know.
I'll probably end up picking every single team that plays against Detroit.
And Philly.
Either Detroit, Philly, Raiders. I'm picking up a team that plays
Jets.
against one of those 4 teams. I'm picking up whoever they're playing against. So give me the 49ers.
And I think that's going to wrap up this mock draft. Thank you guys for watching. Wednesday, we may be coming out with an IRL mock draft.
Our
Then
fantasy.
the greatest podcast on turf, Fantasy Football League,
Yeah.
live first round mock draft IRL. Next week will be our final fantasy mock draft. Be sure, like we said at the beginning, like, subscribe, check out all of our content we got coming this week. And we'll see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's video.
See you.
Peace.